Hello, welcome to Livvy's Ranger Garage. On this YouTube channel, I hope to produce a series of videos teaching you about automotive electrical systems. We will cover basic electricity, how to troubleshoot electrical problems, and how to add and modify circuits in your vehicle. These videos are primarily aimed at owners of Ford Rangers, Explorers, and Bronco 2s, but most of the principles here will also apply to other vehicles. My name is Eric, and this channel is named for my dog Livvy. I hope you find these videos useful. Thanks for watching.
Today we're going to add a winch. This is a fairly simple project, and as long as you follow the directions and a few basic steps, you should be successful. The first step is to read the directions. Your winch should come with a wiring diagram, and your wires should be labeled in such a way that you can decide what goes where. Make sure you understand this before you start. This page includes a special warning to hold the stud and keep it from turning while you torque your electrical connections. It also gives the torque specifications for the nuts that hold your wires tight. So let's make the actual connections from the control box to the motor on this winch. We notice we've got 5 leads coming out of the control box, and this manufacturer happens to be Smitty built, but this manufacturer did a real nice job of labeling everything. You see the terminals on the motor are labeled. A, the ground, is way down here, and B, C, and D are up here, if you remember from the diagram we looked at. So it's just a matter of following your wiring diagram and matching up the wires. The first one we're going to do is A, the ground, or the negative leads, and we have 2. So the little small letter A and the large A with the prime symbol are both going to the A terminal on the motor, and these will attach with a simple screw. I'm going to put the bigger one down first, and then the smaller wire on top. And what you want to do, if you notice, the connection part of the lug here is offset. So you want that so that it can sit flat on the terminal. But if you're adding more than one, you want to check and make sure they all sit flat. So we're going to take this, and I'll lay that like that, and I'll turn the other one and put our screw in like this. And I like to make sure that I hold on to the terminals while I make tighten the bolt so that they don't rotate. You want to keep them in the location you need so that the wires are pointed the right way. I've already set my torque wrench to 14 Newton meters like the instructions called for. And now we'll just snug this down. When you're getting close to torque with the torque wrench, you slow down and apply slow, even pressure until it clicks like that when you have the clicking style like this. Okay, don't jerk it. You'll put more torque on it and actually end up over torquing your connection. The next one we'll do, let's go ahead and do B. Okay, and now you remember I talked about how they said to use a wrench to hold the terminal so that it doesn't turn when you torque the nut with the wire on there. If this terminal turns, you could damage the connection inside the motor casing. And you may notice, in order to have a thin enough wrench, I had to grind one down. It's a 13 millimeter. I had an extra, so I ground it down so that it's thinner than the nut. That way it won't interfere with me tightening the connection. So we'll put the lug on there and the flat washer. I think, I'm trying to think of how I want this turned. I may have to change it later when I put the winch on the truck, just to make sure nothing's interfering. But actually, I think we're going to turn it, it's sort of a 45, kind of like that. And I'll make it finger tight. And then I'll put my other wrench down there to hold it. And I'm going to hold the wire. And we'll torque it. Slow, easy, and then you see what gets to the breakover torque. And that's it. That's all the tighter it needs to be. The next one, oh, let me get this out of the way here. This is our battery positive. That's not going to connect here. That's going to go way over to the battery on the truck later. And let's go ahead and slide the boot over this. Make sure, if you have rubber boots like this that they provided for you, make sure you put them on the wire before you make your connection. And you just kind of have to work with it. And coerce it down on there. And there we go. There's our B connection. Let's do the same with the yellow C connection. And I think I'll take that other A and move that over there for now. I think I'm going to have to put this one like this. So sometimes you have to get a little bit creative. And they give you extra wire on these. My controller could be mounted in several different locations on the winch. And I just chose this location because it fits better with my bumper. Okay, we put that down there. And we put that about there. And we torque our nut. There we go. You see I click it several times. I just like to make sure it really is getting where I need it to be. And you don't want to go fast. You don't want to over torque your connection. And work the boot over. And there's our yellow C wire. And what we've got left is D prime going to D. You can barely see it down in there now that I've done everything else. And let's go ahead and route that one like that. Actually, you know what? That one can route like this. I should have done one of the others first. That's okay, we can still get there. I'll just pull the other out of the way as necessary. And a flat washer, lock washer, and the nut. Yeah, hard to see with my big fat hands in the way. This isn't difficult, and the biggest thing is follow the directions. And let's see where we can get our wrench in there. There we go. And there we go. And then we've got to work that boot down in there. That's going to be be fun. I guess I should have done D first. And if you need to, you can take one of the other connections back apart to make it easier. But I think I'll get this. I can get a pair of needle nose. Alright, I'm back. And there we go. You don't want to tear it, so be careful pulling on it with a tool like that. I get it untangled here. I'm not really pulling with the pliers there. And there we go. That looks like a bit of a rat's nest, but it's all going to be back in behind everything else when the winch gets mounted on the bumper. And that's it for the motor wiring and the controller. You're looking at it from the back side. Here's how it'll be mounted. So all this will be hidden. You won't see that ugly mess anyways. But later on, when I mount the bumper or mount the winch on the bumper, I'll straighten that up with some cable ties maybe. After your winch is mounted to the vehicle, you can finish the wiring installation by connecting the positive and negative battery leads to the battery. I chose to use a couple of clamps that had studs on them the right size for the lugs on my leads, and I installed these on the extra terminals on the side of my battery. Following this, I installed some rubber boots that came with the clamps, and that protects the connections from being accidentally touched by other metallic objects. Here's another type of battery connector you might like to use. This one has several different size holes on the side, and you put the wires in them and secure them with set screws on the top. Here's a view showing the holes where you put the wires in. And that's it. Once you finish the wiring, test your winch and make sure it operates properly. If not, you'll have to troubleshoot it and figure out why not. That brings this lesson to a close. If you think this video was helpful, please click the like button or maybe even subscribe to my channel. Come back soon for more episodes. I also invite you to join me and my friends at therangerstation.com. It's a website featuring Ford Rangers and other Ranger-based vehicles, where you will find Ranger news, articles about members' vehicles, an active forums section, and an excellent tech library. Come join the fun. Thank you for watching Livvy's Ranger Garage.